What's up, YouTube? It's your favorite sports I wouldn't say aficionados. Your favorite sports enthusiast here, back again to deliver some more interesting news. So, rapid fire. The latest thing is whatchamacallit. Oh yeah, Premier League action. Well, Arsenal looks like they're turning things around. Mikel Arteta was looking did not look like the players were playing too hard for my mans at the beginning of the season, but based off the latest score that I checked, they're winning 3-0 right now against Newcastle. Aubameyang has scored 2. Bukayo Saka has scored 1. So they're winning 3-0. And considering the start of the season they have, for them to be up to like 10th, I think that's what's going to end up being. Although they're going to be a game ahead to some teams. Good for Arsenal, even though they had a bad start at this point. They're in they're middle of the table, but if I was a top team, I would not want to face them the way they're playing right now, because they're not playing like a middle of the table team right now. Other action, I think AC Milan is playing. Zlatan is back. The last I checked, he had a penalty, and I think he scored his second goal like a couple minutes ago. So that's that update. NBA action today, it is MLK Day, so shout out to MLK and remembering all he did in terms of history. Aside from that, there's a triple header on TNT. It starts off with Grizzlies and the Suns. Then it's followed by the Bucs and the Nets, which I find truly exciting because that could be the top 2 teams in the East, in my opinion. Although right now, in terms of seeding right now, the Nets are like 5th or 4th. I think they're 5th. But in terms of talent, we already know what it is. We already know what the Nets are. The Bucks, on the other hand, I am still, they're going to be a top 4 seed in the East. Probably top 2 or 3. But, what they do in the playoffs remains to be seen. And I saw Giannis play the other day against the Mavs, and they won. But my dude went 1 for 10 at the free throw line. He does not want to be there. He does not look comfortable. 1 for 10, not to be mean, but that's kind of abysmal, my dude. So that's a definite weakness. It's early Eastern Conference final preview per se. Although right now I like Doc and what Philadelphia is doing. I like the moves they got. Danny Green, be that as it may, you could say he misses a lot of shots. NBA Twitter is not the kindest to my mans. But he is a 3-point shooter, and he does space out the floor for Simmons and Embiid. And then Seth Curry is also spacing out the floor. And Shake Milton is looking a legit 6-man of the year contender. So, and they still got Toby Harris. So that's still a talented group. If whether or not they put it all together remains to be seen. But talent-wise, it resides with the Nets, if you want me to be honest. On the last game, it is out of the triple header. It is the Warriors and the Lakers. Right now, the Lakers, for the most part, are looking like the best team in the league so far. They have the best record, and simply because they also have a lot of talent, they have a dynamic duo. I feel like they got deeper. No, I wouldn't say, I don't know. In terms of experience loss, that they lost with Howard and Rondo, you could say Green too, but most Laker fans did not like him to begin with. So towards the end of the season, that is. But I feel like they got more talented, even though they lost the experience with Rondo and Howard, and the interior stuff with him and JaVale, I think. So they're not as big as they were. Although they got Gasol, they got Montrez, and they got Dennis Schroeder, which I think is a really good pickup at point guard, because he score points, and honestly, him and Montrez can be like a legit third option. So there's that. That is my analysis for that game. Honestly, the Warriors are only competitive when Steph has a good shooting night, and if he doesn't get a second, and against a really good team, he needs a second person to help him. He needs a supporting cast scorer, like an Andrew Wiggins or a Kelly Oubre to step up if they want to be a good team. And if he has a bad night, honestly, the Warriors get clapped most 90% of the time. So that is NBA action. And then finally, I'm gonna talk about what happened yesterday in football. So NFL football, NFC, the divisional round playoffs. Already did one for Saturday. Talked about those results. So first and foremost, let's start with the early game. Browns at the Chiefs. Like I said, a lot closer than most people would have predicted, but I did not predict Patrick Mahomes getting hurt. Andy Reid did not protect my mans at all. He got hurt. He looked woozy. It was scary. My man's needed help getting up. Even though he didn't say get clocked or anything, he still, you could tell already my dude was concussed. Not only that, but somehow on a pass play he got turf toe, and those option plays for him. I know he's a little shifty, but and he's big, big body, 230, 240. But I mean, you do not want my man's taking hits like that. And just for that reason, they almost got upset yesterday. The Browns play good. Honestly, Baker, aside from the pick by Honey Badger, which was a really good play, he had a really good game. Honestly, the things that went against him were the pick, and then that stupid rule. Oh my goodness, that stupid fumble rule. I despise that rule with a burning passion. For where Rashard Higgins tried to dive for the goal line, and then Sorensen heads him out, which is a great football play, by the way. And although they missed the helmet-to-helmet call, which is for unsportsmanlike or unnecessary roughness, they kind of did miss that call. You can make an argument there that it should have just been the play counts, and then it's a 15-yard penalty or whatever. It's not a fumble, and it's just a 15-yard penalty. I hate that rule with a burning passion. It honestly could have been 16-10 right there, but I cannot say that's the end of the world for the Browns, even though I despise that rules, because they had a chance to win this game without Patrick Mahomes in the game. Chad Henne was in the game. He threw a pick, and the opportunity was there after he threw that pick to go up 24-22. And you could give Steve Spagnuolo and their defense credit for dialing up the pressure and them pressuring Baker into throwing screen passes. But be that as it may, honestly, the opportunity was there, and they just were unfortunately not able to take it. And not only that, but they got away from themselves in the first half too. Stefanski got a little scared that the Chiefs got out to that big lead, and they were not feeding Nick Chubb at all. I don't know why. Maybe they were punishing him for not catching the screen passes earlier in the first half. But the fact that they got away from the run game is also another of the reasons why they lost that game. They had a chance to upset them, especially with Henne in there. And then for the afternoon game, the last game of the divisional round, winner gets to go to Lambeau. It was the elderly ball between Tom Brady and Drew Brees. And my goodness, guys, Drew Brees, not to be mean, guy has had a great career. It is a sad way to go out. But my dude looked decrepit. He looked down sad. He looked down bad. And he could not throw the ball very far. I would say everything was basically crossing routes. Alvin Kamara getting yak. Emmanuel Sanders with those little intermediate routes. He could not throw deep. Mike Thomas was basically neutralized because Drew didn't want to throw the ball downfield, or Mike could not get any separation because he's still not 100%. Although he did get some catches last week, so I don't know. The dude just got locked up, I think. And Tampa's defense played good. Devin White had an amazing game. Leonard Fournette played inspired ball. Brady did not turn the ball over as opposed to what Brees did. And turning point of the game probably is the Jared Cook fumble, because the Saints were up 20-13. They were driving. Then my dude fumbles, and it's an even game. After that, it is turnover after turnover, and it ends up being 30-20 for the Buccaneers. And at this point, after the divorce, it looks like Brady got the better of it. And honestly, I'm starting to give my man the lion's share of the credit for the majority of these Super Bowls and for the success what that dynasty was. Honestly, I might even go 65-35 at this point, considering what Brady's done. And do not let my mans get to the Super Bowl, because the numbers will be changing by the week. Aside from that, I'm very happy about the matchups. I went 2 for 2 out of the weekend. I thought the Ravens would upset the Bills. That did not happen. And I thought the Saints, although for those 2 games, I was very torn, and I knew those 2 were going to be the ones where it could have gone either way, because honestly, I trust Allen more as a passer than Lamar. And it's unfortunate that Lamar got hurt. And then on the flip side, it's very hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. If the team is good enough, honestly, after the 3rd time, you're going to win. That's what happened. They adjusted, and the Bucs won. So the matchups for first, it is the NFC Championship game. It'll be at Lambeau, Tampa at Green Bay. And then for the nightcap, it'll be Buffalo at Kansas City. Hopefully, Mahomes is healthy by then, because I don't want that game to be marred by the fact that Chad Henne would have to play. No offense to Chad Henne, but my dude's a backup, and he's not Patrick Mahomes. I'll do a preview for that Friday, because I need to see what Mahomes is at by the end of the weekend. And I just want to, I don't know, I may flip-flop between the 2, because I think all these 4 teams are good. Although many would say that Green Bay is far and away better than Tampa. I mean, Tampa did trounce them, although that was way back in the beginning of the season. Right now, I think that is all the time I have for today. Do I want to cover anything else? I mean, quick recaps is that like other soccer that happened, the big soccer matches besides the Liverpool and the Man U matchup, is that Athletic Club Bilbao beat Barcelona in the Spanish Supercopa. They won 3-2 in extra time, thanks to Iñaki Williams scoring a beautiful curler in extra time. Messi got red carded. I did not peep it, because I was like alternating between that and the Browns game and the Chiefs game, Browns-Chiefs game. I think my dude's kind of slapped Raul Garcia, or one of the midfielders. I could be wrong. Dude's facing a multiple game suspension, which is quite unfortunate. The championship drought continues for Barca. And then in Serie A, Inter beat Juve 2-0. Goals by Arturo Vidal and Nico Barella. Juve got shut down, and it's looking like a 2-team race. Although Juve has a game in hand, and if they win, they could cut it to 7 points. But I say 7 because, like I mentioned earlier, AC Milan is beating, I forget who they're beating, but they're winning 2-0 because of 2 Zlatan goals. This is a very long video, because I covered a bunch of sports. I covered soccer, I covered basketball, I covered football. And that is all the time I have for today, guys. Wasn't really a blazing thing. I broke down everything that essentially happened throughout all these games. I really didn't talk about Chad Henne. Well, shout out to Chad Henne. Anything is possible. Got to get that in there. Aside from that, I think that's everything. This was a very enjoyable week of sports, and it continues with MLK Day, with all the basketball matchups. And that's all the time I have for today. It's your boy, Daniel Yano, signing out. And I might record another video literally just right after this, because I still want to continue the music thing. Kind of torn. I might just do a fusion channel where I just talk sports and music. That's all the time I have for today, guys. Catch you in the flip side.